Veronica Victoria. VP Victoria is one of the more mysterious characters in Detentionaire that I wish I knew more of, that we got more screen time of, which is why this analysis exists. When we are first introduced to VP, we get certain tones from her via her mannerisms.
My. Looks like we're starting the year off on the wrong foot. So why don't you take the right foot for a little trip down to detention after school? And on the first day...
Her voice is calm yet exerts authority. It's because she's right. She's caught Biffy being a bully and he knows it too, which she uses as a mechanism for them to follow her orders. She, also, from her wording choices, portrays that she thinks better of her students, hence the suggesting of going to detention and saying that it's on the first day. She betrays disappointment in such a way where you're almost influenced to do better.
Principal Barrage, maybe we should cancel class for the rest of the day. I think everyone could use a good, clean shower.
No, Vice Principal Victoria.
In contrast, suggestive mannerisms don't seem to work on Barrage, not only because he knows she's suspicious, but because he holds a higher position of authority than her. VP being totally clean also foreshadows that she's one of the antagonists, but also because of her clothing choice. Already being green symbolically shows that she is one of the culprits already for the prank. Ironic since she is green, yet still clean. Her suggesting for everyone to go home suggests further planning and development to get certain things ready for the brainwashing experiments she is conducting, and that the prank was just a perfect excuse for a trial run on the brainwashing music.
Biffy T. Goldstein, do we really have to go through this day after day? You must know the drill by now.
Straight down to detention after school. Yes, Vice Principal Victoria.
This emphasizes the further disappointment I was talking about, but also self-regulation, to maybe even if Biffy breaks the rules by himself and she's not there, he still goes to detention, almost like she's drilling into his brain that detention is a must for him. And so Biffy hangs out in detention voluntarily, which could be some type of unironic brainwashing. This could also be similar to how General Barrage is kind of like a drill sergeant with his exercises, but VP Veronica is more of a passive drilling in the head type person, coming off as very, very gentle.
Well, isn't that nice to see you two boys getting along so swimmingly? Ta-ta!
Keep in mind, despite VP being a scientist and working on a secret project and all, I think she genuinely enjoys being a vice principal, and that she likes that the students are getting along, or subconsciously that they are listening to her, that she's happy that she's influenced someone without using her brainwashing methods, but using her words and personality, and her acknowledging this builds kind of like an indirect need for her approval.
Goodness, Principal Barrage. Instead of spying on everyone, shouldn't we be letting these poor, sick kids go home and rest?
Never! I will not tolerate insubordination, Vice Principal!
Again, we see VP trying to get the students out of school under the guise of caring for them. I would have liked to see more of the students rallying to her side, which would further cement her as this figure who betrays herself that she cares for the students. I think she also only brings up spying because she's concerned that her activities are now being monitored by Barrage, or Barrage is trying to catch her out. But also, Barrage's line in this context doesn't make sense because VP is in a position trying to care for the students while it seems like Barrage is the bad guy. It makes sense at the surface what VP says. You're definitely more likely to take her side with this bad cop, good cop scenario. I think VP is definitely a good manipulator from this, as well as knowing how rooted in military mannerisms Barrage is, and is able to use that to her full potential. Her pushing this twice shows how much she wants her project to work, but she also has to compose herself in a way to the students.
I feel this hand, and the vengeance will be all mine! Class dismissed!
It's also weird how the principal saw coronal Vern virus, so maybe this flu is also an experiment to see if brainwashing could spread through or take Barrage down when the students weren't there, since Veronica knows about his past.
But the flu, it's just the flu. But it is highly contagious, so I'd appreciate it if you didn't sneeze on me again.
Welp. So I'm totally wrong. Anyway, we can gather something else from this scene.
It's a brainwashing room. The teenage mind is so rubbery.
So because the teenagers are easily influenced, Veronica is using the students for her brainwashing experiments, which makes sense. As you get older, you get more firmer in the positions you hold as long as they work, which goes to show her misconfigured morals. Yet she knows right from wrong, as she is disappointed by Biffy all the time, so she knows she's crossing a line.
Goodness, Li Ping, you go straight home right this instant. You're way too sick for detention today.
It's crazy because she's almost like a mother figure, but as a teacher. This is only one of the personal times she's actually caring, and not in front of everyone as an acting type of way. It's to Lee personally. But in hindsight, we know that Veronica is evil. It's definitely because she knows he's been in the tunnels, and giving him detention offers a way of stopping that investigation. Keep in mind this is one of the rare occasions where she dismisses Lee from detention. Almost always it's Barrage dismissing Lee.
Let's get these auditions going.
But Mrs. Lobb isn't here yet.
Haven't you heard? Mrs. Lobb is called in ill, so I'll be directing my very first play. How exciting for me!
Mrs. Lobbs is later seen to be sent missing and sent to Coral Grove. Keep in mind this episode is just after everyone had the flu, which is the perfect cover for Mrs. Lobb to not be there, and therefore it seemed very opportunistic to send her to Coral Grove. Veronica also seems very genuinely interested and excited to direct the play, not only because she's guiding and directing people, which is kind of in her lobby with brainwashing, but also because it fits her area. She acts in real life all the time, portraying herself as something she's not to the students.
She's got the floor. Let's see where she goes with it. Brandy, or should I say Anastasia Nigma? Congratulations, dear.
Honestly, this is what a really good ideal teacher would say. I guess she sees the students as potentials in two ways. One, to achieve her goals, and the second way to see what they can achieve for themselves. Here, I think Veronica is impressed because she knows what a good actress is. It's herself and what she saw in Brandy. And maybe the same thing was said to her as a kid.
I think we just found our choreographer. Don't you agree, Principal Barrage?
Here is some serious foreshadowing of her in the future. But also, she's trying to influence Barrage in the micro scale. If she can just get him to agree on something, it plants the roots for manipulation later down the line.
Excuse me? Don't I get a say? To answer your question, Principal Barrage, no open flames are allowed, and that is someone who isn't going to let a measly man get in her way. But we entertained everyone. Doesn't that count for something?
Here she shows the struggle of her against Barrage. It's a way of defiance, rebellion, which is why she's so happy when Brandy goes out from the original play directions, because Barrage wouldn't like it. And symbolically she foreshadows the struggle in the future where Barrage is basically the number one thing in her way from executing her project.
But you don't have any detention today at all.
Why not?
Charter student rights. There's a clause stating that year-long detentionaires get one amnesty day off. And today is that day. We just gave the boy a free pass. You really think he's trying to get detention?
The fact she knows this is very, very specific towards Lee's case, and so maybe it's setting the roots for Lynch to do his weird arch-nemesis Rad Circles thing, but also to throw Lee off his game, which sets the plans of the Down with Clee club in motion. It's also ironic she uses the Charter of Student Rights to give Lee a day off, when brainwashing is definitely probably breaking those rights.
Well, General Principal Barrage, you've convinced me. The bylaw is a little vague.
I knew you'd see the light, Vice Principal.
Shame that it took so long to determine that. Looks like Mr. Ping got a day off for nothing.
Right when she knows the whole ordeal is finished, and is coincidentally when she's convinced. She's able to fabricate, make a problem, stall the time perfectly. However, this is definitely what sets Barrage's alarm off.
I always keep possible field trip locations in case of emergency.
10th graders, report to the parking lot for immediate field trip to the Green Apple Splat Soda Pop Factory?
At a moment's notice, she wants everyone out again, but this time she's so suggestive that they go on a field trip. Everything works out so perfectly in her favour, probably too much in a coincidental, natural way, which is probably why she was chosen to work on the experiment. Also, with our foresight, we see it's the same Green Apple Splat Factory as Lynch's, showing that pre-association between them.
Haven't you heard? We're transforming this drab, drafty old room into a high-tech library.
Great. Today could be my last chance to use the door, assuming I can even find it.
She also makes improvements to the library. She knows Lee has the key, and she makes the library high-tech in an effort to isolate the door. It's all these little signs that point towards VP being a villain, but also the convenience that makes her seem innocent, but also logic. Why would she be a part of setting up Lee for the prank? A full-grown adult? Really? It seems like at the surface of things her goals are beyond his understanding, but without context, we see everything come together.
All right, rhinoceros beetles.
I've got a special detention project for you, sorting expired student files. That should keep you busy for a long time.
Towards their relations, she has a personal one with Lynch. Without context, we can probably see that VP is disappointed with Lynch being caught, and much like detention, this is a way of punishment, but also a way of bailing him out so their project doesn't get caught out.
How about you take both your detentions to write me an essay explaining why you just can't help getting into trouble every day?
As a side note, I think she keeps sending Biffy to detention, not only because it's a good way to get him out of the game, but also because he's unbrainwashable, so keeping him somewhere where they know he can be is a way of containing the situation.
We've been here all morning. Give me that card or... Oh!
What did we say about threats? We know you think you're doing the right thing, but that footage is property of the school.
I will not be pushed around. Wow, that actually sounded pretty tough.
I'd feel the same way if I was in your shoes. But would Mr. Monteranian really do the same for you?
Now this is a master manipulator at work. Using terms such as, we know we think you're doing the right thing, really makes you contemplate your actions, and even sympathizing, opposing Barrage's bad nature, continuing that good cop bad cop makes you more inclined to listen to her, but also using the Chaz card is phenomenal. I believe VP has an insane amount of social sense, and that's what leads her to become an expert at this. In fact, that's why I think she likes Brandy leading the play, because she sees Brandy is really good at reading people, and in the same sense, VP is really good at reading people too.
Hey, I snuck out to go to a party. You got me.
Believe it or not, I was in high school once. Get in. That was your one freebie. Don't let it happen again. Oh, and Mr. Ping, if you like, I know a tremendous doctor who can help you with that odor problem.
I'd also like to add, VP gets on Lee's good side, basically solidifying her as a third-party neutral that's on the right side. But also her mentioning the shoe makes the focus of the conversation go towards Lee's embarrassment, rather than him questioning why she would let him off the hook that easily or why she's there in the first place, in which she's already got a sympathy card pre-planned and somehow all her bases covered.
Here, take your frustrations out on this jerky. Now, about cleanup. Didn't those new cleaning items come in? We could use them. Don't you agree, Mr. Principal? Robot cleaners have run amok. I say you deactivate them immediately. Don't you agree, Mr. Principal?
Agreed.
Like I said, perfect positioning for her to test everything out. But also, notice her whole plan. She's the one who initiated the hazmats to go rogue, thus making Barrage shut them down and making him think it's his idea to initiate them in the first place. And as we see later down the line, someone else has control of the bots. So in shutting them down, she gained control because of this. Very, very cunning.
It's not like I could brainwash them into being good. Wait, or can I?
Just had to slide that in, but whenever you mention the B word, obviously VP is going to be very, very sensitized to it, because that means she's going to get exposed, or potentially going to get exposed.
Yes, Principal Barrage. Try to stay calm. Take your stress out on this. Hopkins obviously despises phones, so we might want to confiscate them for the day. At least until you pass inspection. Don't you agree, Mr. Principal?
Agreed.
The first few times she used the jerky was out in the open because nothing suspicious was actually happening. No one would really question her because it made sense at the time. But when she does something sneaky, when people would question her, she does so in a way that's out of sight. She isolates the target, and anything weird or suspicious she does, it makes her squeaky clean when individuals try to put the pieces together.
It's terrible what Barrage is doing with everyone's phones. Parents are going to be furious. Hopefully I can make up for that. One of our school sponsors has donated these.
And just like that again, VP has proved herself to be a perfect planner, destroying the phone, making up Barrage's idea that the phones are at fault. She's almost like a capitalist, making a problem and selling the solution, making herself feel good with everyone else's feelings, like she is the solution, while perfectly priming her brainwashing project at the most convenient times. She makes it so people come to her for help, so she knows what's going on and what she needs to fix, thereby making her even more perfect with her planning. But it comes into question, why would Weston Finch donate the phones just then? And how did she even know what would happen? And how did she even get the phone so quick?
Before our orientation, we have a gift from the good people at the Mobile Wireless Federation. Free phones for everyone who didn't get one yesterday.
And just noticed everything again. She's wearing green. What's also green? Green Apple Splat, the Green Apple Splat Factory. What else is green? The phones are green. What is their company? Mobile Wireless Federation. What is that? MWF. Weston Finch, which runs everything. You can see how everything is symbolically connected through color, but also directly connected.
What did I say about accepting those phones?
If everyone has one, we can prove to Blomkins that phones can be a teaching aid. And maybe save your job. You can't destroy their property. That was illegal.
Because of the roots she's implanted with Barrage, she's able to get away with accepting the phones. Thus, she doesn't get punished. Because of what she has done before. What has she sowed before? Which makes it that he can't really do anything because she always agrees with him.
Out of power? But then how is it flashing red?
Now, VP is a genius because, as I've said before, she made Barrage basically shut down the robots, which made her get in control of the robots. But this is where her tactical genius is, because she knows Lee's going down the tunnels, and then she made him destroy the phones, and then she replaces the phones, and then since she knows Lee will go into the tunnels, she made the phones which activate when near a bot, and then the bot will catch Lee, hopefully, for her. And so you can see how much of a tactician VP is also.
Yeah, I got her right here.
Li Ping, are you spying on me?
What? This isn't the washroom? My bad. I'll just...
Wait! Don't make me chase you in heels, young man!
VP always puts Lee in an always thinking position. It's like she's always on the offensive in a not knowing, just curious type of way. That way, Lee always has to think about what he's going to do next, currently, or say next, caught off guard, while VP already has it all planned out.
Lee, whatever it is, I'm sure I can help you with it.
Okay, fine. This is gonna sound nuts, but it's all true.
Again, here we have the culmination of all of VP's work and manipulation. She's made it feel secure enough the way she's acted consistently for Lee's safe zone for Lee to come and ask her for help, and she's positioned as the vice principal in which she does have the power to do something about a conspiracy, and so there's no one else but her that Lee can go to. She's put Lee in some serious pressure where he feels that she's the only wildcard that can help, all in her favor.
By whom?
By him!
And here's where I believe this is just not an accident. All of this whole thing was made for Lee to be ambushed, and VP acts none the wiser. The timing is just too perfect, too precise, and she has just enough fake curiosity for Lee to want to involve her some more. Involve her into her own trap.
This is getting very seriously out of hand.
Oh, it gets crazier. Come on!
Would you stop running? I am responsible for your well-being and... Oh, dear. Lee!
I don't know if you've been in the sim situation, but I have. Whenever I've navigated a situation with my family or friends and I don't want them to do a certain thing, or they come across a sensitive topic, I make them reevaluate what they do. I always suggest something such as, this is getting serious, to make them contemplate and not do the thing that they were going to do. If I were to get in trouble from it, of course. VB does the same here, but she's also actively trying to get Lee away from her entire base of operations. She's very, very good at maintaining her composure and calm as a teacher, drawing upon any excuse. It's like instinctual, it's so natural for her to do that, and this excuse is to not investigate it, such as caring for his well-being, and of course, she's not saying oh dear because he's brash, but because she might get caught.
Stop running! We need to go back! This place is far too dangerous.
Oh, Red Taz! False alarm, we're totally friends.
If anything, Lee should have caught this. The Red Tussle Worm attacks VP. This is the biggest foreshadowing that she was the true enemy all along, doubly indicated by the danger and her saying that they need to go back. It's also symbolic that the Tussle Worm tackles her, and that Lee does the same down the line. And if we look at this clip, the bots weren't even going to hit VP with that. They were either going to hit Lee or the Tazorm, which is crazy. Lee didn't even need to push her because it was never going to even hit her.
Right through there is the brainwashing room. You have to see this.
A brainwashing room? Maybe I do.
And now since Lee already kinda knows what's going on, VP wants to know what he knows, almost everything he knows, which is why she goes along with this, which is why she knows that she needs to see and follow through with what Lee is saying. Thus, it also buys her a lot of time what to do, what to plan, how to manipulate further, and how to pull things in her direction.
That is not good. We gotta go!
She has this fake curiosity, however, it brings them to the brainwashing room, the fake brainwashing room in which there are robots. Now, this is why I say this was her major plan. Her major plan because the bots are already there. How were they already there? Why would they move the brainwashing room? Because they know Lee knows everything. So VP conducted this whole plan, even with rad circles fake chasing them, and then they had to fake chase him again. And so VP's plan was to basically ambush Lee in this room.
I shouldn't be saying this, but all of us, including the old principal, used to work together.
What? At another school?
Actually, more of a top-secret government research program, and General Barrage was in charge.
The way that she reveals everything makes Lee basically think she's on her side, and it's crazy good how she does this. Revealing information is a sign of trust, and the fact that she reluctantly does this, that she fakes out that telling Lee the truth, the fake truth, goes above the secrets, pulls Lee even further in to trust her. She reveals some deep secrets, so he basically has no other choice but to believe it. Not only because it explains everything, but because there's no other explanation, while Barrage is all set up to be the antagonist by the way he's acted just normally.
Maybe trying to cover up the old project by eliminating us one by one. Shh. Oh, our apologies, Mrs. Alice.
The way she's revealing everything, something big, yet at the same time keeps her VP mannerisms with the library teacher, definitely influences Lee again, like they're on some secret, top secret mission, like they're some rebels and they can only rely on each other, which all falls into VP's plans.
You stay safe for now. I'll do some research, and when Superintendent Blomkins comes in a couple of days, we'll expose Barrage for the evil monster he is. You've done enough for now, so why don't you just get back to class? I think it's almost time to vote.
She makes Lee feel so secure, like she's got everything handled, but in reality, she is the evil. And I find it crazy that she's able to execute this so well, because any student, anyone would believe her, given the insider information that she already knows. And guess what? In saying that, she makes Lee basically do nothing. No more investigation, no more. She's got it handled, which is why he doesn't need to do anything else, therefore making her plans basically almost safe.
Oh, that man! Li Ping, while your story is quite interesting, I haven't the foggiest what you're talking about.
What?
Perhaps you should join a creative writing group. Now, hurry back to class. I have a dance to uncancel.
This is the only misplay she did in my opinion when she was pretending to be brainwashed, as this puts Lee to investigate further, which was her downfall in the end. Maybe she was too overconfident because her plan has always been working, almost perfectly. But do note she's only as annoyed as she is because the dance is the only thing to demonstrate her project. This is the only time we legitimately see her mad because it's got to do with something she's worked so long for.
She's been trying to get rid of me since day one. The prank? That was her trying to get me fired. Wonder why everyone was covered in prank goo except her?
I think the way VP pulled everything off was because she knew Barrage would try to do everything solo, thus keep Lee in the dark when he could clearly help. She's almost a master tactician too, almost causing events that could fire Barrage every single time, as she knows him from the past and how rooted he is in his military proceedings.
But now, with the students' help, I've perfected it, and I can make them do anything I wish. Lynch, be a dear and call the students. The dance starts now.
I find it so unironic that she's trying to control all the students when she controls Lynch commandingly without the brainwashing, and the way she's pulled everything off, all the events and manipulated people, including Lee, to get ambushed into doing what she wants without the brainwashing, all because of her tactics and social skills. That higher voice shows a sense of innocence which is gone now that she is revealed to be the villain. And honestly, I think the process of getting everyone brainwashed showed her prowess, how she can brainwash people through non-external means, just by being herself.
You were unbrainwashable, and therefore not useful. Next stop, Coral Grove. A place we send people who know too much.
This is where she's wrong, because she could have displayed how Lee fell into a trap, how he did everything she wanted him to, through the non-brainwashing method. It's also ironic that she sends them to Coral Grove, only to be sent there for failing.
This is all part of the presentation. watch as we indoctrinate all that oppose.
Maybe she loves the power, maybe she loves the control, but I feel like she would be more satisfied with controlling the students without the use of the prank song. I feel like even though she's satisfied with all of her project and she's proud of what she's produced, it's more satisfying that she can manipulate people with just her voice, with just her mannerisms, as it's almost skipping the earned process of that happening.
See? The ones who resist just need a little peer pressure. Stop! I'm your vice principal!
Not anymore.
Victoria, while this project shows promise, it's still not up to man-worst Finwich levels. I mean, really. One student ruining it all?
I think the crazy thing is, VP is one of the most cunning antagonists of the show. At the same time, she has the best sense of reading people, knowing what to say, and planning herself in situations at her convenience, to the point where everything seems natural and you don't think anything of it. Ironically, this time people listened to her most was because of her portrayal of herself, and not because of the brainwashing project. Thus, if she used her manipulation social tactics to mind control the students, it would be far more impressive, and be far more likely to just listen to her. So by her focusing on controlling the student mind unnaturally, it was her undoing when they listened to her naturally.